So here we are, the morning after what will most likely be, well, for sure probably be Asher's first and last Westminster after 2 years of being invited. And I just want to do this video. He's back to himself looking for squirrels and feeling great. He did amazing on the travel. It was actually totally incredible how easy the drive out here went. So for that part, I'm grateful. What was really hard was the shuttle ride over to Westminster yesterday. And between that and a couple of what I would, for me, call significant errors, Asher and I didn't have the team that we normally do or show the way we did. That said, I certainly didn't expect him to be not in the ribbons at all. But again, he wasn't like this when he was showing. And it was a little bit flat, but I think the thing about our standard is it doesn't specify that dogs should be animated or anything like that. And every other dog but Asher was panting in the ring. And the thing is, again, they're all beautiful dogs. That's why they're there. It's a competition among beautiful dogs, but to get nothing was a surprise for me. And so I'm also surprised that I didn't take it as well as I thought, and I was feeling a lot of grief yesterday. It was also hard because I think most of the dogs, I think all of them maybe, flew to the show that weren't within driving distance. And same with the bulldogs and the French bulldogs. Everybody flies, and I know that they have the service dog title, and the training is irrelevant. It's not even needed for a service dog, but everyone does that. And I don't know, people get really adamant about it, against it, but you can sure see the temptation, because the truth is it's very, very hard to fly our dogs, and I feel like you have to kind of shade the truth either way, because you're not allowed to fly them cargo. That was something I genuinely thought of doing this time as well, because I think Asher could handle a cargo trip. We used to do it a lot with our Dobermans, and if you get a good airline, you're fine. But the problem there, look at my handsome, the problem there is that anyway, I'm so sleep deprived, you guys. This video is probably going to be very nonsensical, but the problem with that is, you can't say, you have to have a health certificate, and I would have to ask my veterinarian to say he was some kind of mix, terrier mix. That's how other people have done it when they do cargo. But anyway, that's for a future. If I ever fly the other dogs again, a dog like Daisy, I probably can just buy the seat and have her ride, not even as a service dog, because she will fit in the Sherpa. So that's something to think about too. But I'll figure it out, because I may do one more flying show for Asher if I do a long distance show. I can now drive 20 hours probably with ease, but if I do a more long distance, like back out this way. But anyway, where I want to wrap up and say that, I do want to list a few of the judges for anybody who knows. Most of you guys may not that listen to this, but I guess just winning under some of the esteemed judges that I have won major wins under. Just most recently, Jimmy Moses, Pat Trotter, Robert Shreve, Robert Hutton. These are all legends of the breed and terrier experts. Judy Daniels, of course, she's the one who, the late Judy Daniels, really kept me inspired to show Asher because of her belief in his magnificence. And the thing is, I do agree, he is a magnificent dog. He's not perfect. He was odd man out a little yesterday by being less animated, I think, more stoic. Maybe that's what cost it, him to not be in the ribbons at all. I certainly didn't expect to win. And again, Mom saying they're all other dogs there were beautiful. So it's not like it was a competition already against a lot of beautiful dogs, and it's only one judge's opinion with one style. And had I come last year, I would have probably had, for sure, I may not have won. The dog that won last year was beautiful. But when I showed to that judge a month later in California, the dog show with 24 dogs, she didn't even hesitate to pick Asher and told me that nobody moved like him in the ring, and that was Miss Meredith Kipp, also a terrier expert. So I say that only because they do help me believe in Asher, because the competitors in this sport, down to almost 80% of them, have done nothing but try to bring Asher down. Recently there was a 4-page spread taken out in Show Site magazine of the what was called top winning owner handled dogs that were balanced. So they're looking at this dog apparently and saying he's not balanced. And I don't know why, because I can guarantee you on my life that at least 2 or 3 of the dogs in that so-called balanced exhibit were over the 16-inch, 38-pound standard. And Asher is, again, 16 inches dead on with a wicket and 41 pounds. And that's supposed to be, I guess, what causes people to think he's not balanced. He has a very strong and powerful rear, beautiful angulation, a great top line. There's so many things. Short, tight, very tightly coupled, a beautiful tail set. He's holding it high now because he's very excited, but his tail is very low set. Goes down to a pump handle. There's so many virtues, but none of the competitors have been able to see his virtues. And I hearken back to what Burkett Cody, another judge who put Asher up for big wins and another legendary terrier expert, had said, is that so many competitors would come up to her after she put up a top winning dog and would say to them, would say to her how terrible that dog was, including Rufus the Bull Terrier, who won Westminster years ago. The same thing happened to him. And so she said she just finally came to the conclusion that, look, dogs like this are crap. Top winning dogs are crap, because that's what all the competitors thought. So for me, the mean-spiritedness of what others have done to try to bring attention to probably what Asher has about 1 or 2 flaws and screams with virtue and breed type, which is Wood Warnell, another one who always rewards Asher despite having a friend who got a lot of skin in the game, and he still stays true to picking Asher over that friend's dog, which is very meaningful to me. So again, I list those names for no small reason. I'm super proud of Asher's achievements. And now I'll go to the real thing, which is that nobody died here, and it wouldn't be a sport if you didn't want to win and feel competitive, but it is true. We did have fun, and we're still having fun. We're going to go to Central Park today and enjoy that. There's a beautiful, is it a Beauceron, I think, or is it? Yeah, is that a Beauceron? Yeah, so pretty. Like Matisse, but Ashy, good boy. You loving the squirrels? Are you loving the squirrels? I know. So anyway, so yeah, all's good now. I mean, it was a very expensive trip. The flying would have been so much cheaper too. So when you start feeling like you're just, spending $14 for a tuna wrap and stuff, it just starts to add up. Although we knew it wasn't going to be cheap, I start to question, can only the wealthy people remain in the sport, We've done a tiny bit of advertising with Asher over the amount of time he's shown, but certainly, we can't afford to do much more covers of magazines. Not that I'm against that. And again, I do also want to make a quick statement. I really like the dog who won the show last night. I think she has a beautiful, nice, deep chest, which you don't see on a lot of the dogs today. And my big fear is, my big great thing is I know where I'm going with what I'm breeding. I have so much to learn, and I have lovely, great mentors and other people who I learn from. But I also know I don't want to see our dog become racy and light-boned. We always hear the caution against it, but we hear it from people who much prefer that, as you can see when you look around the ring in San Diego a couple of years ago, or even this year at some of the specialties. You just see the tendency for people to think that that's the way the breed should be, light, fine-boned, no chest, and that's nothing in the standard written about that. It says a wide, deep chest, strong and powerful for their size. And so to me, the first thing I look at is a dog that looks strong and powerful for their size. Someone pretty wise recently was talking about how she thinks that judges are going now only for judging the head, and they're not really judging the body. And Asher's head, he's got a gorgeous, powerful, punishing head for the old type of fighting dogs, but you see his wrinkles around his neck like a lot of red dogs have. That's just a little less clean, but his ratio is absolutely perfect. His ear set is great. He's got half-brick ears, so I do prefer Rose like Willow and Daisy, but I can't show his head now because he's not looking, but he's gorgeous and he's got a beautiful bite. So again, it's all fine. I'm good now, but I'm publishing this a lot for his fans because I want you guys to know I'm doing fine with it. I almost tumbled down this giant hill. And there was great walking area, by the way, at this show, so I was thrilled with that for being in NYC. All right, we're off to Central Park in a bit. I hope everybody has a great day.